What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my handsome co-host, Joey Wright, John Luke Garofalo, and joining us today, our great friend, guest, Jake Ciely. What's up, Jake?
And get out my great guest. What's going on? I'm
Yeah,
actually excited to be here
Grest.
so much. I was texting with Joey about coming on today, which first of all, I'm kind of hurt by the fact that this only happens once every 4 years, and I wasn't the first person invited for this special episode. But more so the fact that when Nicole saw the text, there you go. Nicole actually said, "Oh, it's Uber Joey." So there you go from New York. I was like, there you go. You got a nickname, Uber Joey.
I don't know if I've ever made more of a lasting impression than I did in that Uber in New York.
You got to tell us the backstory.
Multiple times a year. We just took an Uber ride from
This was during
restaurant.
Flex. For the people that actually wanted to hang out, JL, and like you, and just like dipped, like these are like the the people that continued to hang out.
Damn, bro, just catching shade for no reason.
I know.
That was the best.
Uber ride.
He sat in the front seat with the Uber guy, and because there's four of us in there, and we were all in the back. And it was just a laugh fest the entire time. Joey just kept like, "Oh, look, see that? Have you ever been there? Have you ever gone? We should go. Like, what are you doing after the Uber? Should we hang out tomorrow? And the entire time, like everything we passed, we're just dying in the back seat. So now, yes, Uber Joey.
It's that Uber driver
there was a
tells
moment
that
that
same
happened.
There
was a moment that happened in the Uber.
It doesn't sound like that.
Where a guy cut him off, and I was like, "Ugh!" Like we bonded in that moment because we were both mad, and from then on, we were like best friends. It was a great ride.
We both dislike mean traffic. Wow.
Can you believe it? We got Andrew in here with what Jake was alluding to, saying Happy Leap Day, FYFers, only once in every 4 years. Like the NFC South producing a decent division champion. I got some beef to pick with Leap Day, and I think I have a different solution. Why are we adding another day every 4 years? It's stupid. Into the calendar. Calendars have to account for it. We got to change our format all the time. Why don't we just have one day every 4 years in between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day that outside of the calendar? Just remove it from our calendar system and have it's like a free square. It's like the middle square on a bingo board. It's just a day.
So your proposal is to move Leap Day and just strip it of its name?
No, leave only its name. It is Leap Day. Okay. What day is Leap Day on? It's on Leap Day.
Ooh,
it's on Leap Day.
It's in between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. What day is Leap Day? Between December 31st and January 1st, every 4 years, except every.
How do you know that?
Except in the 100 years that are also divisible by 250.
I was originally irritated with Andrew's, NFC South producing a decent division champion. And then I did the math. We've only had 3 Super Bowls in the last 25 years. That division should have more over that time frame.
He was even a little bit generous with that one. We got some people in the chat ready for it.
It only happened because Brady went there too to get one of them. So if it wasn't for them,
it's a long story.
Look, see,
33%.
By the way, Joey, because I know you'll be watching, you have to look for Jay and me on Sunday night. We're going to AEW Revolution, 4th row behind the camera. So
I've already made arrangements with the wife to be able to watch it that evening. So I will be watching.
Should we get a partial refund on our tickets, by the way, because the seats were supposed to, for 2 things real quick. Sorry to just hijack this. It was supposed to be 4 rows on the floor, and there were seats 1 through 12. Well, because the tickets went bananas because it Sting's last match, they added 2 rows behind us. Now, granted, they're behind us, but now we have people behind us. And the seats go 1 through 16, so we actually got shifted a little bit. I mean, not much, but we were seats 2 through 6 or whatever. So we got shifted a little bit and rows added behind. I feel like you can't just do that.
No, you should get a meet and greet with Wardlow. That should be the minimum.
I'd be good with that. Meet Madness? Yeah, I'd be good with that.
Yeah. We got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Scampers in here said, I'm early, so as not to be late. Hi, FYFers. And Jake Grimm in here as well. And I like this title for Jake. It's Jake, the Funko guy.
Yeah. Funko guy.
And Grimm so much more at this point.
He's given us some predictions, too, saying Giants, Falcons, and Jets all win their divisions this year. Well, that would be a big turnaround from last season. Dame stopping by as well with FYF. Hi, Dame. What's up?
Dame.
Scampers with the hashtag wrestling talk, and Grimm said Sting will probably lose
in his final match.
You go out on your back.
Madness.
That's what you do.
Were you saying you were going to meet someone named Madness, or is their name Meat Madness?
The original. There was originally supposed to be a triple threat match that was called Meat Madness because it was like the three gigantos of AEW.
I've seen that video.
Boys.
Yeah.
Meat Madness. It's a classic. It's a good one.
It's also my nickname.
One of my life goals is to take JL to a pro wrestling event. I just want to
one of my life goals
witness it.
Is to not
to attend with.
He could have gone with us in Baltimore when we saw him in Baltimore. We stopped by. We was UMBC. That's where we saw AEW the first time, and we actually Nicole and I met up with JL for lunch, and then we found out he was vegan.
But that's holy ground for basketball. We can't bring wrestling into UMBC world, guys. Today we brought Jake here to play a game that we call Fantasy Fortune. It is a popular take on our game, or on the game Wheel of Fortune, but with a fantasy football twist
that we own.
Suck it.
That's our game.
Say Jack. I forgot. I almost said Trebek, then I almost said Harvey, and then just so non-consequential Pat Sajak when it comes to game show hosts that I started replacing them. Before we get into that, a couple of reminders. First and foremost, if you're not already following our guest Jake on Twitter, remedy that right now. You can find him on Twitter at AllInKid. Not only is he giving you those hot fantasy football takes, but fantasy baseball season is rapidly approaching, and Jake is the man when it comes to fantasy baseball as well. You can find all his work as the senior writer over at The Athletic Fantasy, and he alluded to it earlier, but if you enjoy watching fantasy experts throw down during the regular season, he's the president of Flex Leagues as well. Joey, how did you fare in Flex Leagues this year?
I made it to the final versus CBS's own Jamie Eisenberg and got my butthole ripped out.
Let me make this clear. I'm pretty sure Joey laid up for Jamie. He just loves Jamie so much that I think he kind of half-assed that, honestly. Like he just didn't want to.
Over the last 5 weeks, I lost I lost 5 of my 6 first-round picks, and I drafted really well in that league. I went Lions heavy. I had Goff. I had Laporta. I had Jahmyr Gibbs. I had the Lions team that I knew was going to win for me. And then everybody outside of that just started getting injured left and right. And I think I scored 70 points versus Jamie in the final. It was bad.
That was Joey's team at the end of the season, in case you needed a musical representation.
I made it in my first year in the final.
So Meat Madness is my favorite pizza. Us too. We love a meaty pizza here at FYF.
Big meat guys over here.
Big meat guys. Well, speaking of meat guys, we're going to meet some puzzles here in our game of Fantasy Fortune. I'm pulling the board up right now.
I've missed your transitions.
Yeah, I'm so good at them. I'm going to explain the rules of this game, and then we'll jump into it. If you've ever seen the TV show Wheel of Fortune, this is going to look a lot like that, but with some small twists. The biggest one being that there's going to be no wheel in this game. Instead of spinning a wheel, contestants are going to answer 50-50 NFL or fantasy-related trivia questions. Get it right? You're going to guess a letter that you think appears in the puzzle on the board. For every instance of the letter that is up there, you're going to add 500 buckaroonies to your round bank. Now, during your turn, if you get a question right and a letter right 3 times in a row, you're going to bank all of that money, but your turn is over. You'll get 5 seconds to solve the puzzle before we move on to the next competitor. At any point during your turn, there are 2 other actions you can take before a question has been asked. You can choose to buy a vowel at a cost of 100 per instance it shows up, but you're going to need a minimum of $500 in your round bank to do this. Or you can choose to solve the puzzle. If you solve the puzzle, you're going to earn $1,000 or however much money is in your round bank, whichever one's higher, and that turn will immediately end. We'll go like this till we run out of puzzles, run out of time, or Jake runs out of hoodies to switch into, at which point this will be the end of our Fantasy Fortune game, and whoever's got the most money is our champion.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
I was too busy tweeting about the combine. What was the $500 thing? I missed it. Why do we have to have $500 in our bank? What was the rule there?
You pay us $500.
Yeah, you owe us $500 as an appearance.
Okay.
Is all it was. Yeah, you can just Venmo it.
Okay.
Now, if you want to buy a vowel, you'll need to have at least $500 in your
That's what I thought. I wanted to be clear, make sure.
Scamper's coming in with a MVS no letter solve. Damn it, now I need a new puzzle. I'm going to go ahead and load up this first puzzle here, guys. The order as listed is Jake, Joey, JL, but that doesn't matter so much for this one because it is going to be a toss-up. All the rules I mentioned previously, throw them out the window. what you're going to do is as letters are revealed in this puzzle, you're going to buzz in when you think you know the NFL player that is on the board. Get it right, you're going to get $500 in the opportunity to go first in the next round. First person to buzz in gets to guess. Once you buzz in, you are out. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start revealing letters.
Joey.
JL.
Joey was in first.
It was the fart noise.
Oh, wait. Was that your official buzzing?
Yeah, that was my buzzer.
Did he fart before I said my name?
I did hear your name ever so slightly before the fart noise, so Joey is going to get that one. Joey.
It's not my fault, the delay.
It's the jersey behind Jake's head. It's Saquon Barkley.
This is Saquon Barkley, and thanks to Jake's delay on his farts, Joey, you are going to earn $500 and the opportunity to go first. I did want to ask you guys about Saquon Barkley before we move on. Joey, since you solved this puzzle, I'm going to throw it your way first. News came out that the Giants are unlikely to franchise tag Saquon Barkley, and we're starting to get reports and rumors of Saquon connected to other teams like JL's Baltimore Ravens. Where do you think Saquon ultimately ends up? Is it back in New York, the path of least resistance here, or do we see him on a new team?
I think he'll be on a new team, and I think wherever he goes, it can't get much worse. I think he'll be in Texas, whether that's with the Texans or the Cowboys.
Not weather.
It's on one of those two teams.
It's the Super Bowl 2024 winning Houston Texans.
Could be.
There right there.
Very well could be.
As Barkley actually came over when I said her name like 3 times for that.
She's like, what? Stop calling me. I was sleeping.
The good thing is I could just put like red stripes right here and just keep the jersey.
Yeah, Jake, you've got the Barkley jersey behind you, the Texans hat on your head, and you're calling for Barkley to Houston. Is that where you think he'll end up, or is that you as a Texans fan hoping that
can it be both?
Die both fan.
It does make a ton of sense, honestly. I mean, they have the cap space, and you put that on their team, and boom, and now he leaves. Get back here, Simon.
JL, is Saquon Barkley on a new team, plus or minus for his fantasy value next season?
It's plus. It's for sure plus. I mean, of course, it's going to depend on the team. There are worse situations than the Giants out there for Saquon Barkley. So it is definitely a possibility that he ends up in a worse situation. I don't think it's the most likely outcome. And I think he's on a new team. I think the Giants are going to do what they should have done probably like 4 years ago and stop investing in running back and start focusing on other parts of their team.
Not named Saquon Barkley. Well, guys, nice job on that puzzle. No one in the chat getting that one. Scamper's saying, out of the chat, Joey. And that is a good reminder for our contestants. When a puzzle is on the board, make sure you have the comments closed. And a reminder to everybody watching, play along in the chat. If you think you know the answer, put it in there. If you're right, especially before our contestants, we'll shout you out. If you give a very funny answer, we will giggle. And if you give a really wrong answer, we're going to lay in bed at night and think about how stupid you were and just how dumb it was. Like, just how could you possibly think that, you buffoon? Is probably
stupid buffoon.
I feel that's what Dale used to say in his before you go to bed when we did the show 5 days a week about me. God, why do we stream with this guy every day?
You stupid buffoon.
Joey would lay in bed at night munching on his peanuts, thinking he didn't even want to give me these peanuts.
These are pity peanuts.
These aren't even salted, man.
Guys, I should tell you now, like, when I have my gallbladder removed, I can't eat peanuts anymore. So they've just been piling up in the corner. Like, it's the one food that the doctor's like,
them?
You can't eat nuts anymore. I'm like, oh, man. Yeah, I'm literally like a squirrel just saving up for winter, just all in the corner over there.
Winter never comes. You live in Florida.
Damn it, line for line, you stole that from me. As you said it.
I love that you got a couple words in at each corner though.
Well, guys, I'm going to pull up this next puzzle. If JL's mind right there is any clue, he's going to know exactly what this says. We have another country player mashup. If you remember last week or a couple weeks ago, it was something like Azerbaijan Robinson. We had some great other ones in the chat recommended, but basically it's going to take the name of a country and the name of an NFL player and to some degree of success, slam them together into one mashup. Joey, you solved that last one first, which means JL, you're up first. Would you like a question or would you like to solve this puzzle?
Question.
Wait, I don't get to go first? I thought that was the 500.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You get to go first.
I'll take a question.
Sorry, Joey. I already promised JL. Joey, who scored more?
You know what? I'm going to try to no-letter solve this sucker.
Okay.
TJ Hushmanzadeh.
Is it England Dan Campbell?
Say that one more time.
England Dan Campbell?
It is not England Dan Campbell.
I lost my turn. Go ahead, JL.
England.
The D. That was the one common thread. I see. All right.
You're missing the letter at the bottom, Joey. You should have counted.
Yeah, that's if you spell Campbell properly, Jake.
Yeah. Campbell. Campbell.
JL, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Devonta Smith or was it Stephon Diggs?
Diggs.
Diggs is correct. Which letter would you like?
N.
N, as in no, there's not any N's in this puzzle?
Yes. No.
There is one N in this puzzle, JL. I'm going to add $500 to your round score. Would you like another question or would you like to solve?
Question.
My question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Jahmyr Gibbs or was it David Montgomery?
Gibbs.
Gibbs is absolutely correct. Which letter would you like, John Luke?
T.
T.
Higgins.
There's one T in this puzzle. Going to add $1,000 to your score.
God.
Or
I wish somebody would just say Higgins every time I said T. Like in my life, I'm just walking through the day. That would be a fantastic superpower.
Yeah, I'd like your green tea Higgins lemonade.
Higgins, my boy.
Starbucks just has a permanent employee that yells it from the other side of the room. John Luke, would you like your third question? Would you like to buy a vowel? This is your last opportunity to do so this turn, or would you like to solve this puzzle?
I'll take a question.
Okay, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Dallas Goedert or was it Trey McBride?
It's a good one.
I want to say McBride. McBride.
Oh, that is correct, John Luke. Which letter would you like? Get this right. You're banking all this money.
Ooh, what's a letter that's in a lot of countries? Let's go R.
R. There are no R's in this puzzle, which means we are on to Jake. Jake, would you like a question or would you like to solve this puzzle?
I would like a question.
Oh, also, I forgot to give Joey his 500 from the last round. Jake would like a question. Okay, Jake, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Chris Godwin or was it Calvin Ridley?
Oh. Ridley.
Ridley is correct. Which letter would you like, Jake?
G.
G.
Good
There
job.
are two G's in this puzzle. Going to add $1,000 to your round score. Would you like another question?
I don't know the country.
I don't either.
As soon as he said it, I was like, oh, damn it. That last name actually lines up perfectly. I just gave it away. now I got to figure out the country. So I need another question.
Okay.
I'm currently in Eastern Europe.
Wait, you can do that? You know the countries that well?
You just got to sing
I'm missing a bunch, but I think the one
okay.
The Animaniacs Countries of the World song.
I know. Well, that doesn't work anymore because they half those countries are gone.
You're right. They did change a bunch of them. My next question for you, Jake, is who had more PPR fantasy points? Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it James Conner or was it Zach Moss?
Connor.
Connor is correct. Which letter would you like?
The S. Hopefully there's a second one.
There's one S in this.
Damn it.
It's your last opportunity to buy vowels this turn if you'd like to do so, or we can move into your third question.
Yeah. Give me an A.
A. Oh, on the board. There are no A's in this puzzle, which means your turn is over and we are on to Joey.
Joey, vowels are just a slap in the face whenever you miss a vowel because you know it's 100% optional.
There's so many A's in countries. Like, how is there no A?
It's like going up to the checkout to pay for something and getting arrested for shoplifting. Like at the cash register with
is your country from like Star Wars or something? I'm gonna find something else out here.
That would be out of Simon. If you start throwing Star Wars countries in these puzzles, I'm out, man. That's it.
That's the line.
In case you're wondering, I'll take it off the board because it also has an A, and I was counting out Kuwait. That's the only one I could think of that finishes with a T. But that's
Joey. It's your turn. Would you like a question?
Question.
Okay, my question for you, Joseph, is who scored more PPR fantasy points last season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Jordan Addison or was it Nico Collins?
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins is correct. Which letter would you like?
H.
H. There's one H in this puzzle. You can add 500. You can buy a vowel. You can take question number 2, or you can solve.
Oh, man, I only got one letter. I'm going to buy the I.
Doing really funny.
Wait. Time out. Hold on.
What?
No, seriously. So the T didn't have to be the last letter of the country?
It's a mashup.
No. It can be mashed up in any way.
This is some shenanigans. No. Okay.
Man, if only someone would have given an example like Azerbaijan Robinson at the beginning of this.
I still don't know how. Like, what do you mean, Azerbaijan? Like, I don't know what that country is. I still don't know.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
You know what? That's a totally fair and reasonable point.
I legitimately okay. I know the rules now. I just legitimately thought like the T had to be the last letter of the first. That's why I went with Kuwait, and then I figured that didn't fit. Like, so I figured it had to be another country that finished with T. Anyway,
all about
I think
the sound.
I think I actually know what it is now. Anyway, go ahead, Joey. Win this.
What do you think it is?
No.
A question, please.
Okay, Joey, my question for you is who scored more PPR fantasy points last season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Alvin Kamara or was it Jaylen Warren?
Oh, I'm actually going to go Jaylen Warren.
I am sorry, Joseph. It was Alvin Kamara with more PPR fantasy points last season. I'm shocked by how well he did every time. Every time I look. John Luke, that means it is on to you. Would you like a question or would you like to play?
I have some money. Oh, can I buy a T? I mean, an E. Whoops.
An E. Yes, you may
said
buy
a T.
an E.
You can't buy an E.
There are 2 E's in this puzzle.
Burn money.
Down to 800.
Who needs it? There's still vowels left, so I guess I'll buy an O.
An O. There's 1 O in this puzzle. Going to subtract another 100. There's 1 U in this puzzle. Going to subtract another 100. John Luke. Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I guess a question.
Okay.
I don't know geology.
My question for you, JL, is who scored more
fantasy
points?
You don't know what?
I told you, Joey, I don't know geology.
He said geometry, Joey. Just get over it.
I don't know geometry.
I don't know gynecology. Joey,
stop asking me.
John Luke, here's your next question. Who scored more PPR fantasy points last season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points last season? Was it Hunter Henry or was it Taysom Hill?
Hill.
It was top 12 PPR tight end Taysom Hill. Who scored more points, John Luke? Nice job. Which letter would
Hunter
you
Henry
like?
even do this year?
Nothing. Blocked
Nothing.
a couple times.
2 games.
I'll go with B.
There's 1 B in this puzzle. Going to add 500 to your score. John
I would like to solve.
Okay, let's hear it.
Djibouti Higgins.
This is Djibouti Higgins. Nice job, John Luke. Going to earn you $1,100 as you solve that puzzle. I feel like T. Higgins is a little bit of like a snip, snap, The Office scenario right now where he says things like, this is the team I want to be with. We are the future together. And then it comes out like they're franchise tagging him. Then it was, they're not franchise tagging him. He wants to be traded. Then it's, they are franchise tagging him. Things are good. Then it's, but we're open to a trade still. JL, as a Clemson fan, T. Higgins lover, Tiger at heart, fellow Bengal in your spirit. What's going on with T. Higgins? Do we see him back with Joe Burrow and company in 2024 and beyond? Or do you think this trade materializes?
I think they're doing the dance right now, right? Every offseason you get this dance between subset of these players who are going into contract negotiations, and they're going to do their dance. They're going to do their posturing. Oh, I'm leaving. I don't really like you. I only kind of like you, and we only kind of like you, but we really like you. And this back and forth, just trying to see where there's leverage, where they can get wiggle room or negotiation leverage in their contract talks. I think it's most likely T. Higgins stays on this team. I think he has a very clear role on the team. He fits into the offense, and he's a great young talent. I can't imagine the Bengals are trying to get rid of him. So I think that would only happen as a result of it making sense for the team, and I don't see that really being the most likely outcome here.
I would like to say one thing, too. You could have made this puzzle even grander with Kayshawn, Djibouti, Higgins. I just want to,
double down on it. Put it fully out there. Jake, do you think T. Higgins ends up back in Cincinnati? And then my other question is about this Bengals offense as a whole. I feel like because they underperformed this year without Joe Burrow, they're kind of being almost forgotten in a division where other teams are now on the rise. We've got the Ravens team looking absolutely hot until the playoffs. This Browns team overperforming with Joe Flacco at quarterback. Are the Bengals going to be back in contention next year? And is T. Higgins a part of that recipe?
Well, with the tag, I don't see there's any way that they move on outside of a trade, and that's not happening. It's just because the NFL is not trading. Nobody's stupid enough to pull that kind of deal where you're going to have to sign long-term unless it's somebody like the A.J. Brown situation. That one was just absurd. So a similar trade, maybe. I just don't see it for with the Bengals. As you just said, they're going to be back in the contention, so why would they move on from Higgins? That's the problem. Is you need a team that is looking forward focused like the Titans were at the time, even though it was a stupid trade, and the Bengals are win now. Joe Burrow back, T. Higgins back. I think the only thing that changes is whether or not they sign him long-term because of how insane the cap went up on over expectation. Expection? Over expected. I'm just making up words now. Because this is what the expection. I like inspection.
This is a safe place for mispronouncing words. You can
we are just smashing words together. So.
Shout out Matt in the chat getting that one right with Djibouti. Higgins. Nice.
How early on?
And also Grim, he got that about 7 minutes ago, and Grim right about the same time came in and got Djibouti Higgins. Nice job, everyone.
I did not know there was a country called Djibouti.
Are you being serious?
Dead serious. I looked it up. I learned some stuff in the last few minutes.
The capital of Djibouti is Djibouti.
When did Djibouti become a country? Because I got out of school 20 years ago.
Probably prior to that.
It was after you left the toilet. That's when your Djibouti began.
Nice job, chat, getting that one. And then I see Grim in here coming in saying, hey, Jake, my Super Bowl prediction this year was Texans over Packers, 38-27. So way early. What do you think about that prediction, Jake?
It's half correct. Year. It's half correct. The Packers aren't going to be the ones to lose to them, though. I like it, though.
Also, Matt in here said, might as well have done Javonte Adams.
Say... Everyone's going to throw at everything.
As this show goes on and the more and more episodes of these we do, they will get harder and harder and looser and looser. We're going to move on to our next puzzle here, guys. Puzzle number 3.
Yeah, I know.
And this category is off-season news. So this is just some good old-fashioned off-season news, the kind of stuff we pay attention to in the off-season around the league. John Luke, you solved that one, which means, Jake, you are up first. Would you like a question, or would you like to know, let, or solve this baby?
Never gonna give you no. Okay. I'd like a question.
Okay, my question for you is, who had more rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Najee Harris, or was it Kyron Williams?
Kyron's got to be.
Kyron Williams is correct. 3rd in the league in that metric. Which letter would you like, Jake?
T.
T. There are 3 T's in this puzzle. Going to put $1,500 in your round bank. Would you like to buy a vowel? Would you like question number 2, or would you like to solve?
Question dos. Let's go.
Question number 2. Who had more rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Josh Jacobs, or was it Saquon Barkley?
Barkley.
Barkley is correct by about 150 yards. Which letter would you like, Jake?
S.
S. There are 2 S's. That's plus $1,000, Jake, and bring you up to $2,500. Would you like to go into your third and final question? You can buy a vowel. This is your last opportunity to do so unless it comes back around to you.
Yeah. Well, I'll do a vowel, then a question. So give me an A this time again.
A.
One A? One?
There's one A. Going to subtract it. Your options remain the same, though, Jake.
All right. Give me an E then, too.
Also, just so you know, Djibouti became a country in June of 1977. So you need a new excuse. What was the other vowel? You weren't alive yet,
Joey. That was, what is it? E.
E.
Was anybody alive on this show? I don't think anybody was.
4.
I'm the closest. I was -5. I'm 41.
What year were you born?
82.
82.
I'm 11. Jake, would you like another question?
Great job.
Or would you like to solve? Or would you like to buy another vowel?
I know. I'm trying to no. That's another question. Another question.
Okay. My next question for you, Jake, is who had more rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Bijan Robinson or was it Lamar Jackson?
Oh, that's a good one. Bijan question mark.
Bijan is correct. A nice job, Jake.
Is it?
If you get this letter right, you're going to bank all this money. Which letter would you like?
I would like an N.
An N. There are 2 N's in this puzzle. Going to add $1,000. Jake, you've got 5 seconds to solve, but you're banking all 3,000.
5 seconds?
Yep.
Bijan's last will and testament. I don't know.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect, and I also accidentally did 2 twice. So you really got 6 seconds. Which means, Joey, we are on to you. Would you like a question, or would you like to solve?
Question.
He ain't messing around. Joseph, what I want to know is who had more rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Isaiah Pacheco or was it Joe Mixon?
Isaiah Pacheco.
I'm sorry, Joey, by a little over 100 yards. It was Mr. Joe Mixon, which means
I would have guessed Pacheco
too. To you.
That's tough.
All right. Alrighty. Question.
Okay, JL, who had more rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Kenneth Walker or was it Travis Etienne?
Etienne.
Etienne is correct by about 100 yards. Which letter would you like, John Luke?
Let's go with R.
R. There are 3 R's in this puzzle. Going to add 1,500 to your round bank. You want to buy a vowel? You want to go into question number 2, or would you like to solve this puzzle?
Let's buy an I.
Let's do it. Let's get a little crazy. There are 5 I's in this puzzle. Going to subtract $500 from your score, bringing you down to 1,000. JL. Oops. Your options remain the same. You can buy another vowel. You can move into your second question, or you can solve this puzzle.
Let's buy an O.
Oh, there you go. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we will charge that max of $500 for vowels, bring you down to 500. Your options are U,
so give me the U.
You have just enough to try to buy it. So there's 1 U in this puzzle, JL, bringing you down to $400. You made some money. You spent it. Would you like question number 2, or would you like to solve?
I would like to have a question number 2.
Okay, question number 2. Who had more rushing yards last season? Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Rashad White or was it DeAndre Swift?
Got it.
Swift or Rashad White rushing yards. Let's go Rashad White.
I'm sorry, John Luke. It is DeAndre Swift with more rushing yards, which means, Jake, we are on to you. Would you like a question or would you like to solve this puzzle?
A question, because I don't know why I'm getting hung up on one of the words. So question.
Okay, my question for you is who had more receiving yards last season? Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Michael Pittman Jr. or was it Brandon Ayuk?
Oh, Ayuk.
Ayuk is correct. Which letter would you like?
L.
L. There are 2 L's in this puzzle. Adding $1,000. There are no more vowels, so you can solve or go to question number 2, Jake.
It's one more, another question.
Okay, another question. Who had more receiving yards last season? Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it George Kittle or was it Devontae Adams?
Kittle.
I am sorry. It was Devontae Adams with more receiving yards, which means, Joey, we are on to you.
Do you know it, Joey?
I do.
No.
Robbie Gould to coach high school in his retirement.
Robbie Gould to coach high school in his retirement.
I didn't know he was coaching his high school. That's like the word I couldn't get was that one.
High school.
I made this puzzle prior to knowing you were going to come play with us today. And then as soon as I was like, oh, this is perfect. We got off-season kicker news for Jake to come on.
The thing was, as soon as he finished the vowels, I knew who the player was, and I knew the two, and I got school with the L. I didn't get the coach part. I couldn't figure out the coach part because I don't pay attention to kickers.
I got so stuck on Romeo Dobbs. I couldn't make it work.
Oh, yeah.
Romeo Dobbs retired?
I'm like, why would he retire? It doesn't make any sense.
And he lost a letter in his first name?
Scampers came in here and said Rocky Balboa something. Was. We got Dave in the chat. What's up, Dave? Welcome in. And then Anthony was the first one to get it. Robbie Gould to coach high school in his retirement with Andrew ever so slightly
Anthony.
Behind him. Grim coming in as well. And Matt said, is this news?
No.
Somewhere.
I was about to say, you're speaking Jake's language. Yeah, they said it on the morning announcements last Thursday, if I remember correctly.
The fact that pizza's in the school lunch cafeteria today.
Oh, I love pizza day.
All right,
are you talking the cafeteria with the little cubed pepperonis? Hell no, that's yeah.
Oh, I have very low standards as a child.
The pizza line at my high school had the best cookies because they didn't cook them all the way for some reason. All the other lines cooked the cookies all the way, but you had to eat them with a fork out of the pizza line. So that line would be like backed up to the wall.
Softer cookies are better than crispy cookies. I agree.
Except for Tate's Bake Shop. I don't know what they do to those crispy little guys. In the green package in the cookie aisle, grab some. They're thin and crispy and delicious. And we're going to pull up another puzzle here. We got time for at least one more. And this category is rhyme time. We have a closed game.
Wait, what is this called?
Rhyme time. This is going to rhyme. It could be something like drinking soda with Marcus Mariota, playing clarinet with Jacoby Brissett, a romantic weekend in France with Trey Lance, things like that, of that nature. We'll have an NFL player's name. It will rhyme.
A great Uber night with Joey Wright.
Exactly. And
there it is.
A great Uber night.
Right off the dome.
And Joey, you should auction that off for charity. A great Uber night with Joey, right? You just take Ubers all over for a couple hours.
Why don't I drive the Uber?
It'll be like Ash Cab, but you just like yell at them.
I'm going broke because I'm getting in that thing.
Who solved that last one? Joey did, which means John Luke, you are up first. Would you like a question, or would you like to free ball, no letter, full commando solve this puzzle?
I wish I would have thought about it. I'll take a question.
Okay, my question for you, John Lucas Garofalo's. Who had more receiving yards last season? Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Rashee Rice or was it Chris Olave?
Rice.
That's a good one.
I'm sorry, it was Chris Olave with almost 200 more receiving yards last season than Rice, which means, Jake, we are on to you. Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
Question.
Okay. My question for you is, who had more receiving yards last season? Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Travis Kelce or was it George Pickens?
Oh, Pickens.
Pickens is correct. Nice job, Jake. I thought I'd get you with that one.
No, Kelce stinks.
Which letter do you like? Ooh,
that we
got that one in my spleen.
I'm gonna go S.
S, as in suck it, Jake, for saying mean things about Travis Kelce.
So I only get one?
Yeah, you only get one.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get another question then. All right.
That's $500 in your round bank, though, more than either of your opponents have. Here's your next question. Who has more receiving yards last season? Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Mike Evans or was it Justin Jefferson?
Evans.
Justin Jefferson almost did it, though. Only 130 behind Evans in
which is insane.
Like 10 games that he played. You're correct, Jake. Which letter would you like?
N.
N. There are 2 ends in this puzzle. Going to add $1,000 to your round bank. You can buy a vowel if you would like to do so. This is your last opportunity this turn. You can take a third question, or you can solve.
Screw those A's. Let's get an E this time. Again.
An
E first up.
There are 2 E's, Jake. Going to subtract 200. What's next for the all-in kid, huh?
Eyes have it. Let's go some eyes.
Huh? 2 eyes.
Huh? Show us your feet.
Show us your feet, Jake. Sorry, got carried away there for a second. There are 2 feet. 2 eyes in this puzzle. Going to subtract $200 from your score. Question number 3, Jake.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to know. Who had more touchdowns last season? Who had more touchdowns last season, receiving touchdowns? Was it Sam Laporta or was it Keenan Allen?
Laporta.
Laporta is correct with 10 touchdowns. Keenan Allen 7. Get this letter right. You're going to bank this money, Jake.
T.
T. There are 3 T's in this puzzle. You've got 5 seconds to solve and $1,500 being added to your round bank.
I have no idea. I'm missing too many letters.
It is not. I have no idea. I'm missing too many letters. But Jake, you are going
that didn't even rhyme.
$2,600. I know. That's why I was really confused why you even said it. And there's no NFL players in it either. I didn't even say Azerbaijan when explaining it this time.
I don't know what threw you off.
Joey, it's your turn. Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I'd like a question, please.
Okay, Joey. Who had more receiving receptions last year as opposed to the other kind? Who had more receptions last year, Joey? Was it Evan Ingram or was it DJ Moore?
Ooh.
I'll go Evan Ingram.
And you would go your own way, which is the right way, Joey. Nice job. Would you like?
Oh, that was a journey right there, Simon. I'll go L.
There are 3 L's in this puzzle. Going to add $1,500 to your round score. Would you like to buy a vowel? Would you like to move into question number 2? Or would you like to solve?
I want to buy an A.
An A. There are 2 A's in this puzzle. Going to subtract 200. Your options remain the same.
I want a question, please.
Okay, question number 2. Who had more receptions last season, Joey? Who had more
receiving receptions or
delivery receptions? Joey, who had more receiving receptions last season? Was it Mike Evans or was it Adam Thielen?
Receptions, Evans or Thielen?
Correct.
I'm going to go Evans. There's no way Thielen had more.
Thielen had almost 30 more receptions than Mike Evans last season. Over 100 receptions in 2023 for Adam Thielen.
Because those first 4 weeks.
We're on. Yeah, I think 99 of them were in weeks 1 through 4. John Luke, would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I have 90% solved. I'll take a question.
Okay, my question for you, John Luke, is who had more receptions last season? Who had more receptions last season? Was it Cole Kmet or was it Devonta Smith?
I don't want to be tricked. Simon.
No.
I'll go Smith.
Then you would be correct, John Luke. Which letter would you like?
I would like a Y.
A Y. There are 4 Y's in this puzzle. John Luke, gonna put $2,000 into your round bank. You can buy a vowel. You can take question number 2, or you can solve this puzzle.
Can I buy a vowel?
You may.
I will buy an O, please.
An O. There are 3 O's in this puzzle. Going to subtract 300 from your score, bringing you down to 1,700. Options remain the same.
I would like to solve.
So dumb.
Okay. What is it?
Telling Kyler Murray, it's okay. Don't worry.
That's exactly what you're doing, Jill. You're telling Kyler Murray, it's okay. Don't worry. And that's going to bank you $1,700. John Luke, is it okay? Should he worry?
It's totally okay. He should not worry. Everything is totally fine.
Because it does feel like Kyler Murray's a pretty divisive player, especially in Dynasty right now with like where he stands. Does he belong closer to that Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes tier? Does he belong closer to that next tier of guys? Maybe like the Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert tier of players.
I would put him in that tier, but I would have put him there.
Herbert's probably in the one
all.
above there. Sorry about saying Herbert.
I think that is exactly where he belongs. Is in that tier with Trevor Lawrence and Tua, that like secondary tier, for sure.
Jake, are you in or out on Kyler Murray in Dynasty?
I'm in on Kyler Murray. The only risk, in my opinion, is the health, which, I mean, I'm not going to try and play that game with too many players, honestly. So I'm all in, so to speak, on Kyler Murray.
Joey, it sounds like it's an all-pro Kyler Murray show today.
Yeah, I think that Kyler Murray is, of those names you listed, the one that most likely will come out of that group. I mean, we're looking at possibly Marvin Harrison Jr. going there to Arizona. He's got a breakout tight end in Trey McBride. I like Kyler Murray a lot. I'll probably have him a lot of my redraft teams because he seems like he's going around like quarterback 11, 12. If Marvin Harrison ends up there, though, he's going to be going as a top 8 quarterback.
I see Anthony in here saying, let's get it first, chat. And Matt throwing mad shade at us said, has the chat ever not gotten it first? I'll fight you, Matt. Come on, Matt. Say it to my face.
Did I get that one first?
Matt's my CBS buddy. We hang out in the CBS chats in the mornings.
You fight him over there in the CBS streets.
Stand up for us, Joey.
I also see Hoof stopping by with the Ooga Booga. What's up,
Ooga
Hoof?
Booga.
Welcome in, my friend.
Ooga Booga.
Scampers came in and got telling Kyler Murray, it's okay, don't worry. Anthony letting us know this is so dumb.
He's so dumb.
Mm-hmm. You're correct, Anthony.
Fact.
And Scampers
very weak rhyme.
telling Bailey Zappi, don't worry, be happy.
I like that one better.
That's much better.
Yeah.
I'll fight you guys. Bailey Zappi's much less relevant to talk about immediately after the puzzle. We got time for
way funner of a name.
One more here. One more. Puzzle number 5, top 12 quarterbacks. These are quarterbacks that finished in the top 12 and 4-point per passing touchdown leagues last year. Last names only, and they will need to be in the proper order as they are listed here. So, who solved that last one? John Luke
Me.
solved that last one, which means, Jake, you are up first, and you have the lead.
I didn't get any money. There wasn't enough money in that puzzle.
So, give me a question here.
Okay, my question for you is...
Wait, time out, hold on. So, they have to be in order that they finished. Does it have to be like...
Not in order that they finished, in order that they're listed on this puzzle.
Okay, so it's
I'm
not
just saying
the
order. The order that you say them needs to be the order I have them up here. The only reason I said that is because there's 2 names of the same length, and if you tried to no letter solve this and gave it to me in the incorrect order for either of those names, it would not be correct.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. So there you go. Okay, all right. So the question.
Okay, my question for you is: who had more targets last season? Who had more targets last season? Was it Amon-Ra St. Brown or was it Terry McLaurin?
St. Brown.
St. Brown by only 30 more targets. I would have thought it was a bigger difference. Which letter would you like, Jake?
R.
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 There's one R in this puzzle. Can add $500 to your
Just
score.
One?
Just one. Would you like another question? Would you like to solve, or would you like to buy a vowel?
Or would you like Djibouti?
Or,
hold on. I will solve.
Okay.
No. I take that back because you said the letters have to be this. So one more question.
Okay, my question for you is: who had more rushing attempts last season? Who had more rushing attempts last season? Was it Devin Singletary or was it Alexander Madison?
Oh my God. Singletary?
Singletary is correct. Nice job, Jake. Which letter would you like?
I would like an L.
An L. There are 2 L's in this puzzle. Going to add $1,000. Okay. Say it exactly as it's up there.
Prescott, Love, Mayfield, Goff.
Jake, that is absolutely correct. Prescott, Love, Mayfield, Goff. Nice job. Going to add $1,500 to your score and a little exclamation point on your victory for today. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, I almost said that. It's like the Love Goff. I was like, oh, wait, hold on. Like, I don't know which one.
Was that the order you would have said it in?
No, I was going to say Goff first.
Damn
if you guys are drafting one of these quarterbacks next season, who are you drafting?
Oh, man. So Mayfield for me, I'm assuming because I got answer first, right? Mayfield's off the board for me. I just don't even expect it back if he's with Tampa Bay or whatever it is. It's going to be whoever's the cheapest of the other three, which makes me think it's actually going to be Goff because I think a lot of hype's going to be around Love going into next season for what he did this year. Prescott's probably going to be the highest again, but he's volatile in my opinion. So I'll just take Goff again, honestly. But if Love's close enough, if Love's like bottom of the tier, like the top 12, I'd still take him. But if Love creeps up into like QB 7, 8, and he's like that 7th round pick, I would just wait.
John, what about you?
Completely agree with you, Jake. I like the specifically that point you made about I feel like Love is going to be marked up a little bit, and Goff still somehow is going to be marked down a little bit. And so I would much rather just have Goff if that is the way that it plays out.
I feel like
or just take Anthony Richardson in the 9th round.
If Prescott isn't priced like he was again this year, which like the discourse is negative around Dak Prescott right now, even though he just had a top 3 quarterback season for fantasy football purposes, like if he's being drafted as like QB 8, QB 9 next year, even maybe ahead of some of these guys, then he might be the dude I'm taking. We might get
It's just not fun. He's not fun to have on the team.
No, it is not.
He's fun at the end of the season, but during the season, he's not fun.
Jake, congratulations on your win, and thank you again for taking the time to come and hang out with us. We really appreciate it.
Only because Joey asked.
Guys, if you want to follow Jake, the Funko Pop guy, go follow him on Twitter at AllInKid. Fantasy baseball season is fast approaching, and he can help you out there, and then you'll be ready to go once fantasy football season approaches as well. Reminder, that's on Twitter at AllInKid, and check out his work at The Athletic. John Luke, any fart noises you wanted to make before we went?
Yes, thank you for asking.
I knew I could just see that one resting inside of you. And Jake, as always, I appreciate your delayed farts. Guys, that's going to be it for us. Another big thanks to Jake. Thank you, Joey, John, Luke, and everybody in the chat for playing along with us. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Until then, though, arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
I want to try to fart. Let me try.